go. There you go. All right.
Part video game, part boxing.
So hopefully we're back up and running. There we are. We're back up and running, you guys. Again, apologies. This is all a work in progress. We're trying new things out. So bear with us. Awesome. Thanks, Danny. Yeah, again, apologies for everybody. Like I said, it's all a work in progress. We're trying to figure everything out yet. Trying to try some new things. Like I said, again, we're not geniuses by all means with all this live stream stuff, so we're learning in the process. So that's kind of the fun thing of trying to figure out some of this new stuff. But hey, we're back, we're here. Let's keep going. Awesome, thanks guys. So again, just to start a refresher here, I'm just gonna cancel out of this again, and then we'll just start again fresh here. So again, this is for the Gunfire IR stuff, Gunfire IR setup. This is more or less for if you get your own guns or you order Gunfire IR and you get them sent to you, or perhaps potentially you needed a new 2 terabyte boot drive, things like that. We don't always know if you have Gunfire IR or not, so we're not always able to do a lot of this setup here when you do get a new drive sent to you. Also, again, with when you get your new guns. But when you do order your machines from us here and you get the guns from us here, all this will be set up on your end when you get your machine. But again, I'm just gonna run through a few setup stuff quick. So again, if I come to the bottom here, Manila folder, we come off to the left, come to emulators, and if I go down, hopefully this is a little bit better of a view too. And with the way we set it up, now it's just straight up off my phone. I can kind of zoom in. I'm gonna come to MAME IR guns. So double click into here. We're looking for the controller file. Double click in the controller file. If we come right to Gunfire config, this is gonna give us our numbers here. But again, like I said, these are for older Gunfire IR, and I know with the newer ones, like I said, gun 1 is 6, gun 2 is 7. But I'm just looking for these bottom 2 lines. Copy. Copy, come back out of here. We're gonna come into EHA. And I'm basically gonna get rid of the aim track lines. So if you can see that, right click, paste. I'm just trying to do this to try to make it as easy as possible for you all, because I know sometimes this can get to be a little much for those. And then again, if you had those different guns, we just want to change this to 6. Oops. 6. 7. Save. And then if anything, I can copy this. The other 2 lines, the top one's for your trackball. The second one is typically for a spinner. So this will be, and I'll have to change this for this style of trackball because again, this is a 2-player panel, so the PID number is going to be different. And I can show you where to find those PID numbers quick, or how I go to find them. I know other people can find them in a different way, but I'll just show you how I do it. So if I wanted to, I could take that, copy this, and I'm gonna go all the way back to MAME. Usually I would set this one up too, but again, majority of your gun games you're gonna play are probably gonna be in that IR gun folder. But same thing here, I mean the gun for IR code is even right there too as well. And actually I did the whole thing. Oops. And paste. Make sure you don't change anything else on the top or the bottom, because if you do, potentially your games won't launch. So again, just be careful kind of when you're inside of here, because anything else that is changed or moved potentially won't launch your Arcade Classic games. So, and again with this one, like I said, I know it's a 2-player panel, and I know for 2-player IPAC it's 0, 4, 2, 0. It's an easy one to remember. So save, and I'm gonna eventually again have to change that, but that's how you get in there and do that. And that was for MAME. I did that for our gun for IR folder. So let me kind of zoom out a little bit. Hopefully everybody's catching this. I'm doing the best I can do with it. So I showed that PS2 stuff on the last one, but again, since we're on a new live stream, I'll just kind of show that quick. But so we did MAME. We did our MAME IR guns I showed you. Let's just kind of go right down the line. So PlayStation. So before I even get into there, if we come into tools, the mule shooter up top here. The config INI, if I right click and edit, I'm going to show you. So there's our numbers. So again, for the top gun, you're going to want to copy that whole line. And then if we come back to emulators here, come into PlayStation, game configs, and then here's those games again. So if I click inside of here, there's going to be gun 1 and gun 2. So again, right click, edit, and then kind of like the same thing like you've seen there when I grab that code, and then copy or paste over this whole line like I did. And then you can just paste inside of there. So you're gonna do the same thing for gun 2. You're gonna grab that code on the bottom for gun 2. Again, go into here, right click, edit. Trying to do all this, paste that code in there. Again, hopefully everyone's catching this. I'm doing the best. And then don't forget, again, when you change that, to save. And you're gonna do that for all 10 of those games. I believe there is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So every single one of these, you're gonna have to come inside of here again and do that for each of these. 1 and 2. So I got that done, just say. We went through that whole process. Now I'm gonna come down to, what's the other one? Supermodel. So if I double click on Supermodel. Speaking of PS2, does So yeah, I've not that I know of. I didn't have issues. We typically don't have issues running PlayStation 2 games. But anyways, I'm gonna get right into Supermodel. So there's LA Machine Guns, Ocean Hunter here, and Lost World Jurassic Park on the bottom. So easy way to come to find the code that we need for Gun for IR. If we double click in here, you can see we have the device IDs already set up. Again, for the newer Gun for IR, this is going to be 6 and 7. But what we're looking to do is copy this. So we can copy this, we can close this out. If we come into here, the top one, right click. If we edit our script, it's gonna pop up this other window, come down, and what we're looking to do is to paste that into here. And then again, for those newer ones, you're gonna have replace this with 6 and 7. And I'll show you where those PID numbers are at the end of the video. 6, 7, oop, just got one, 6, sorry. 7, 7, file, save, and then right click. With the other thing you're going to want to do when you get out of there and you save all that, if we come back to that one that we had, you're going to right click and we want to compile the script because that's going to recognize that we made those changes to the game. So compile. Now you can see, you know, they're both on the same date and the time that I saved. The time is messed up on the machine and probably the date is too, but if I had the date and time stamped right, obviously those would show up, the date and the time for today. But so, and then you'll do that for LA Machine Guns, you're going to do that for Ocean Hunter, you're going to do that for Lost World Jurassic Park. So for those 3 games for Supermodel. So we got that done, that done. So for expansion now, for Technoparrot. So remember Technoparrot down here, kind of showed you how you could open this up here. I kind of listed off those games. I'm not going to go through them all again. But again, you can do the controller setup and get in here and do that. I'll show the expansion side. So for the expansion stuff, hopefully I'm not making this too confusing. Yeah, I did the MAME stuff already. Yeah, I showed off MAME and the controller file for all that in the beginning of the video. So now again, expansion stuff, W. And there's a few games in here, so if we come to expansion PC games, where is it? There's one game, here we go. House of the Dead Scarlet. Okay, I'll make sure to add the expansion. Right, see. Yeah, I see that on here. Yeah, I'll make sure it's added. I thought it all was here, but maybe I'm wrong. Oh yeah, it is missing the one. Not a huge deal. I'll get that added. Like I said, I haven't fully quality checked this machine as of now. I'm kind of running through the Gunfire stuff. Yeah, I haven't even, like I said, I haven't even had a chance to look at the paperwork and double check everything on the machine as of right now. So I'll get into that after the live stream here. But anyways, so where was I? Expansion PC games. House of the Dead Scarlet, Technoparrot, self-launch app. Just kind of keep double clicking and Demon. I know I'm kind of going through that fast, but pretty much just double click on all the top ones. So click into the game, self-launch, the app, Windows not editor, and then eventually we're going to get, and we want jconfig. Double click that guy. It's going to pop this up. You can see our guns there. So now if we come down to settings, you can see 46, 47. So if I click, right click, I'm gonna make that mouse 1 for gun 1. Oop. And then click, right click, and you make that mouse 2 for gun number 2. Obviously, once you get done with that, you're gonna click OK. It's gonna save that for you. You're gonna click OK again. Should save that for you. That one's done. Now, if we come back to the W, expansion emulators, if we come into TechnoParrot, I know if we come into games and then Tomb Raider, there's a Demille shooter inside of here. Double click that, the GUI exe, and then again, we're looking for those numbers again inside of here. So player 1 is the 8046 and you want the 8 buttons. And then number 2, you want the same thing. You want 47 with the 8 buttons for that game. And then again, make sure you save each configuration before you exit. And then now, if we come into okay, yeah, I didn't realize that we had that. So for Tomb Raider, it sounds like you wouldn't even have to do that anymore. That was there was a patch that we had fixed or did something to fix that, so we're not having to use that Demille shooter for Tomb Raider specifically anymore. I got told by David. So you don't really, it sounds like you don't have to worry about Tomb Raider. As long as you have, it's updated, so the AHK file that is updated and loading, it no longer requires this. Awesome. So that fixed the Tomb Raider issue. But that's how we used to have to go in to do it. Whatever, not a huge deal. Glad we got that fixed so we don't have to kind of work around all that anymore. So this is for all the expansion TechnoParrot games that we have. I'm going to double click inside of here. And this is going to pop up again like that TechnoParrot again. And then this is where a lot of, like I said, so you can see a lot of these are subscription based. So this is again where you would pay that $6 a month. I know you can buy like a year subscription, things like that. You can donate and help support TechnoParrot so they can do all this good stuff for us. But again, I'm just going to show you one game again right off the bat. This Akuma is a gun game, I know. Let's get into Aliens Armageddon. Controller setup. And again, here's where you're going to select your guns and do your buttons.
The other direction, unless that's their logo. And then, you know, I would have done probably their logo.
Okay. So awesome. So yeah, so it just kind of sounds like the Demille shooter on the desktop that we had set up originally in the beginning is going to run all our Demille shooter games. I don't know all those games off the top of my head, but I know a few games, you know, quite a bit of games I think run that for us. Demille shooter we use to run those. So again, here we can select our gun for IR gun, and then again, it's just a matter of left mouse click, selecting what we want, again, trigger, and then again, same thing for your buttons. I'm not gonna go through the whole process, but that just gives you an idea how to get in here and do that. And then again, once you have all the stuff done and selected that you're looking to do, save your settings. So yeah, I'll kind of list, there's quite a few games in here. The Akuma is one, Aliens, the Big Buck Hunters, obviously, you have our gun games. Bugbusters, so Bugbusters is another one. I know some of these games in here that we're gonna see too are gonna be on the new expansion. Ghost Squad Evolution, Ghostbusters, I believe that's gonna be on our new expansion. Jurassic Park is another gun game. Lethal Enforcers, Lost Land Adventure. Music Gun. Police Trainer. Terminator Salvation. We got a House of the Dead 4 special, Time Crisis 5, Transformers, another Transformers, Walking Dead. So those, off the top of my head that I know of, are all the gun games inside of the expansion or will be coming on our new expansion. So yeah, it looks like some of the games aren't Patreon anymore, which is kind of cool. So I know like Terminator was definitely one that's not anymore. I believe some of these Transformers ones were too. So that's cool. So some of these games are available and you don't even need to have the Patreon anymore.
Yeah, so that would be the next one to chug forward.
So yeah, Jurassic Park apparently was one. I don't know if that's on there. They might have an update available. But there we go. That's how you're going to get in there, do that. Again, don't forget to save all your stuff when you're done with all that. So I think Technoparrot and all that. So I think there's only 2 other games that you physically are going to have to go into and set that. And I'm going to do that quick. And that's like pretty much all the Gun for IR stuff. Hopefully I caught everything and ran through a bunch of stuff. But again, hopefully I kind of went through that pretty decent for everyone. I know it's a lot to kind of take in, a lot to go through. Again, that's the nice thing about doing live streams videos. You guys can always pause, rewind. I know you can zoom in. So again, hopefully this is helping everybody out there that gets these Gun for IRs for our system and is kind of looking to either, you know, obviously do this on their own. So from here, I'm just gonna go into, we're just gonna run it right out of Big Box. Oops.
No, I just hate them. I hate everything about them.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, you guys, it's really not that bad. I'm trying to whip through it as fast as possible because we've already been on stream for like, yeah, I'll have to set all the aim track stuff up. Not a big deal. That's why I didn't save a lot of it. I'll just have to go back through and double check, which I already do anyways when I do quality checking of these machines before they get shipped out. Not a huge deal. It doesn't take me but 5 or 10 minutes. Obviously, it just takes a little longer when you're trying to show and explain. So it's really not that bad, you guys. Just follow what I'm doing and you won't run into any issues. So that, like I said, there's 2 more games for Gun for IR setup. And then we're gonna be done. So we're gonna find our gun folder. So IR gun games, if I come in here, or there's that other folder, I believe you can go in that way too as well. But House of the Dead remake, again, which is a fun one, a remake of the classic, up graphics, up resolution. And we're gonna need a keyboard for this. So obviously, if you only have the 2 USB ports up front to plug your guns in, you need to plug in a keyboard. Sometimes, obviously, there might be a hub underneath your panel, depending on if you have like a spinner and things like that, that you can always plug in your guns or your keyboard to there. Otherwise, you can always open up the back, and there might be an open port on your computer to have a little keyboard plugged in, a USB keyboard. And I usually just grab one of these little guys. I mean, I know some folks like to play stuff off keyboards, but if you're just looking to kind of get into things, one of these little keyboards works perfectly fine. This one's just kind of old, beat up, but it still works. So we're gonna load this game up. Area 51, did you want me to test Area 51? So we're gonna let this bad boy load up here for us. Yeah, like I said, I'll have this game and what was the other one now? House of the Dead and Blue Estate are the two that we had, I believe. I believe David told me a customer had made this program up. So once we're in game, like we are now, if I hit, so with, again, with this kind of style of keyboard, with this is like, you have to hold this down in order to hit like F1. I believe this is F1, so F1. So you can see F1, that pops this up for us on the bottom. So now if I obviously assign player 1 light gun, if you do that, and then now look, it says pull the trigger on your gun. So now if I pull the trigger on my gun, you can see that it switched that PID number for us. So obviously you're going to repeat and do the same thing for gun number 2, and then hit F1 to clear that, and now you're ready to rock, play House of the Dead Remake with your new Gunfire IR guns. So I'm just going to exit out of this one. And again, for House of the Dead Remake, you actually have to exit out of the game, like physically. With some of these newer titles, things like that, you're going to have to exit out of the game physically like that. The exit off the panel won't work. So, oh yeah, Blue Estate. So Blue Estate's the last one. I'll show you where to find PID numbers or how I go to find them. I know other people go find them different ways, things like that, but I'll just show you how I do it. So Blue Estate, another good one, fun one. Get into it here.
Yeah.
Thanks, Loose Cannon. Yeah, just hopefully this is helping everyone. Because I know there's customers out there that obviously have had our machines for a while, things like that, gotten the updated drives, and then eventually upgraded to Gunfire IR, and none of that's always all pre-set up, and especially with the newer set of guns, the PID number is different, so obviously you're going to have to go in and kind of do all that stuff. So again, hopefully this is helping everybody out there that's having issues or troubles setting some of this stuff up. So for this one, it's F5, and it's going to kind of be like the same thing. So, but with this one, I think you can see you're going to hit F6 for gun 1. So again, just to kind of show you, if I were to hit F6, and you can see it says the same thing, pull the trigger. So you're going to do that, pull the trigger, and then again, if you do F7, you're going to do the same thing for gun number 2, F5, and away you go. You can get in there, play Blue Estate, another good fun one. And that should be the gist of it, you guys, for all the Gunfire IR stuff. Again, I know I ran through that quick. Hopefully it was helpful. Last thing I'm going to show you is I'm just going to show you, just in case if you're curious on PID number, if you don't know off the top of your head, you know, if your guns are going to be those newer ones or whatever. Potentially. Oh, and I know with Blue Estate. Yeah, with Blue Estate, David, if you're seeing that forced kill is still up. So I don't know if we can fix that. Because I know the exit doesn't work. So Blue Estate, I'll have to close this out. And then now my exit should work there. So yeah, for some reason Blue Estate, it still pops up that the coding or whatever, or the game script that it's running, and I can't use my exit. So I just had to get rid of that on the bottom. But anyways, we're gonna get right into it. I'm gonna back out of here. I'll show you where I find those PID numbers or how I find them again. I know people do it other way. Everybody's got their own little tricks of doing things. So if I come into settings, we come into devices. Devices and printers. And then if I select my gun, right click, we come to properties, hardware, and then properties, again, details, select this, hardware IDs, hopefully you can follow this, and then you can see here where the number is. So it's that same like PID number we've been using, but that kind of gives you an idea where you could come to find your PID number if you're curious what the PID number is. So that's like the same thing for your keyboard. If you have an iPac too. Again, if I right click properties, this is just how I've been taught to do it or come find them and how I do it. Again, I know people have different ways of going about it, finding things, but description, hardware IDs, again, now you can see the PID number for iPac 2 is that 0420. So that's how you kind of get in there, find those PID numbers. But there you go, y'all. So hopefully that was helpful for this week. I know we didn't show off much gameplay, but hey, let's test out one gun game. I believe I had it set up for MAME. I can't remember if I did or not, but yeah, let's test Area 51. We'll test out that one game and we'll call it a week for this week. I like coming to this Area 51 because I like playing the other version. Oh. There we go. You can see my gun's working. I put the correct PID number in there. It's coin up. Yeah, I like playing the maximum force one a lot. I've been liking. It's got more of like the live action kind of people in there. Let's go to number 3. Why not? So let's show off a little bit of gameplay, guys, to give you a little bit at the end. Don't shoot him. So for the old lady there. Oh, miss. There we go, we got a shotgun now. Eat it. Oh. Almost shot her. I think she comes out of, oh no, I thought it was, oh yeah, she comes out of that one. Where you at? Got me. Oh no, the plane's coming. Watch out, dude, you're gonna get hit. The cool ththing with these Gun for IRs, I don't know if you can hear the recoil if I hold the trigger. when you get the automatic, it'll keep on recoiling for you. Versus I know the aim tracks only do one. Yeah, let's get on the four-wheeler. Oh, I wasn't paying attention on that one. There you have it. All right, guys. There we go for this week. Again, thanks for everybody for joining. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Thanks everybody for your support. And we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.